My name is Marcus Reed, and for most of my adult life, the road has been my second home. I am a long-haul truck driver, and I have crossed this country more times than I can count while chasing deadlines, fuel stops, and paychecks. I live in a quiet town outside Columbus, Ohio, the kind of place where people still trust their neighbors, and children are supposed to be safe inside their own homes. For years, I believed I was doing the right thing by working long hours and staying away for weeks at a time because I thought providing meant sacrificing my presence. While I drove through endless highways, my wife Claire stayed home with our daughter Lily, who is 9 years old, and the center of my world. Lily used to be laughter in human form. She was loud, curious, playful, and always waiting at the door whenever I returned from a trip. She would jump into my arms and talk nonstop about school friends, cartoons, and dreams she wanted to chase someday. That was how she used to be. Then slowly, without warning, something changed. After one long trip nearly 3 weeks away, I came home expecting the same warm welcome, but Lily did not come running. She stayed in her room. When I went to see her, she hugged me, but her body was stiff, and her eyes avoided mine. She looked tired in a way that made my stomach turn. I asked her if she was okay, and she whispered that she was fine. Claire stood in the doorway and brushed it off, saying Lily was growing up and kids go through phases. I wanted to believe that because believing was easier than facing the possibility that something was wrong. Over the next few days, the signs became impossible to ignore. Lily barely spoke during meals. She ate slowly with her head down. She flinched whenever Claire raised her voice even slightly. At night, I noticed dark circles under her eyes, and when I asked about school, her teacher told me Lily had become withdrawn, quiet, and no longer participated in class activities. One night while I was tucking her into bed, Lily grabbed my hand tightly and whispered, "Dad, please do not tell Mom." My heart froze. I asked her what she meant, but before she could answer, Claire appeared in the doorway, and Lily immediately went silent, pulling the blanket up to her chin like a shield. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, feeling something heavy settle in my chest. A few nights later, I woke up and noticed Claire was not in bed. The hallway light was on, and Lily's bedroom door was slightly open. I stood still, listening to the quiet house. 30 minutes passed before Claire came out of Lily's room. When I asked her what she was doing, she said Lily had nightmares and needed calming down. Nightmares do not take half an hour, and I knew that, but I said nothing. The next day, while Claire was out, I went into Lily's room. Under the bed, I found her favorite stuffed rabbit torn apart with stuffing spilling out. When I picked it up, I noticed dark stains on the fabric, dried tears soaked deep into it. That was the moment denial stopped being an option. That night, I bought a small hidden camera. I told myself I needed proof, not suspicion. I installed it on Lily's bookshelf, hidden among toys. My hands were shaking as I tested the feed on my phone. That evening, I pretended to sleep. Around 11:30, Claire quietly left the bed. My heart pounded as I opened the camera app.
What I saw shattered me.
Claire entered Lily's room and closed the door. Lily was awake, curled tightly under her blanket. She whispered, "Mom, please, I was good today." Claire's voice was cold, unfamiliar, stripped of any warmth I once loved.
"This is discipline," she said.
She pulled tape from her pocket and covered Lily's mouth. My daughter's eyes widened with terror. Then Claire began hitting her with a shoe, not once, not twice, but repeatedly with force. Lily could not scream. Her small body shook with silent sobs. "This is because you talk too much to your father," Claire whispered. "He does not need to know." I recorded everything. Every second felt like a knife. When Claire finally left the room, Lily cried silently, clutching her broken toy. That night, I did not sleep. I backed up the footage to cloud storage and a flash drive. The next day, I left for another trip, pretending everything was normal. That night, parked at a rest stop, I checked the camera again. It was happening again. The same ritual, the same cruelty. That was the moment something inside me changed forever. I was no longer just a man trying to provide. I was a father who had failed to protect his child, and I would not fail again. I made phone calls quietly from my truck, reaching out to people I trusted, documenting everything and preparing to act. Each night, I watched the footage with tears streaming down my face, listening to Lily's muffled cries and Claire's cold voice telling her it was for her own good. I hated myself for every mile that kept me away. I hated the road, the job, and the excuses I had made for years. When I finally returned home, I did not confront Claire immediately. I stayed calm because rage would only put Lily in more danger. I continued recording, collecting evidence, until there was no doubt, no denial, no escape. One morning I knelt in front of Lily, looked into her tired eyes, and told her I loved her and that I would always protect her no matter what. For a brief moment, I saw hope flicker in her face before fear returned as Claire entered the room. That was the day I contacted the authorities with everything I had. The footage, the timestamps, the recordings, the broken toy, the sleepless nights. When they came to the house, Claire looked shocked, confused, angry, but she could not talk her way out of evidence. Lily was taken into my arms, shaking but safe. The silence that followed was heavy but necessary. Recovery was slow. Lily needed therapy, patience, and time. Trust does not return overnight, especially when betrayal comes from someone who is supposed to be love itself. I changed my life completely. I quit long-haul driving and took a local job because no paycheck is worth a child's pain. Today Lily laughs again, not like before, but real laughter that comes from safety. And I tell this story because somewhere another parent is choosing work over presence, thinking everything at home is fine. Sometimes the danger is not outside. Sometimes it waits quietly behind closed doors, and only attention, courage, and action can stop it.